Welcome to YogaSurf Warm Up with LilyPod and Olo Surf in nature, Morocco. So the following sequence of yoga asanas have been designed specifically for surfing warm up. So let's find our seat, find our breath, ujjayi breath, victorious breath, and take a few moments to yourself to arrive and find your anchor on yourself. Breathe deeply. And once we've found our seat and our breath, we're going to start to warm up our shoulders with big rotations in both directions. Placing our fingertips on our shoulders, inhaling to bring them forward and keeping the throat open, and exhale to bring the elbows back. We want to unite breath and movement together as much as possible and continue. Once we've moved in the opposite direction, and take as long as you need, feel free to pause the video and take at least 5 to 10 rotations in each direction. The shoulders are really important to have them warmed up for surfing. After we've warmed up our shoulders, we're going to warm up our torso by twisting one side on an inhale and exhaling at the other as shown on the video. The breathing is really important. Continue, and you want to do anywhere between 15 to 20 repetitions on each side. So go ahead and take your time to do this rotations from side to side and take a few moments in between before you go to the other side. This is on the opposite direction. Inhaling to one side and exhaling to the other side. This is based on Kundalini Yoga. When we finish, we're going to inhale to open front body, hold it for at least 5 to 10 breaths, and exhaling to open back body in the way shown on the video. Continue breathing deeply with ujjayi breath as you find your anchor within. Now we're going to stretch our triceps. So we're going to bring our left arm up and over, grabbing onto the left elbow with the right hand, gently pulling back and down to feel a gorgeous stretch on the triceps. And then once you've done this few breaths, we're going to do a lateral flexion to the right to maximize this stretch and get into a little bit of the latissimus dorsi muscles, so important for surfing, as well as your legs. So we go to the other side, right arm up and over, holding on to the right elbow, and then a lateral flexion to the left. We want to maintain a connection to the core, to your lower bandhas, so not to give away to the lower back. Shake it out a little bit. Now we're going to stretch our forearms. We do a lot of paddling in surfing, so there is a possibility that your forearms get a little tired. From here, we're going to move on to all fours, into cat-cows. Exhaling to open back body. Press the earth away with your hands, knees, and feet. Inhale to open front body, shoulders back and down. Continuing at least 5 cycles at your own time and pace. Important to keep the alignment of the body always in check. From here, we move into one of my favorite movements to warm up the upper body. And this is done precisely on the inhale to come forward, exhale to round and come back into child's pose. This is going to warm up the shoulders, the upper body, the core, even a little bit of the legs. All muscles used plenty in surfing. Then we're going to take a little stretch where we bring the toes to touch, knees wide apart, and the arms forward. You can't really see this on the video, but your fingertips are pressing down against the earth. I call this spider web or starfish, where the wrists are lifted up from the earth. Now we're moving to a plank pose, Kumbhakasana. We're going to take a few moments here to find our pose and what I like to call the golden cord. So we have this beautiful line that's elongating from the crown of the head all the way to the heels. Once we've found that, we're going to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Keep the knees and elbows micro bent. Sit most high to the sky and shoulders externally opening. Great for surfers at any time of the day to do a downward dog, especially if you're tired. Coming into another one of my favorite movements, the wave, exhaling to come back. The inhale will raise the heels over the toes, and on the exhale, the movement starts from the very bottom of the vertebra as you articulate one at a time to find plank and then come back. Going back is not an easy move. In fact, I find it more challenging to go back and replicate the undulation of the spine. It's just so good and so healthy for the vitality and length of the spine as you surf or practice yoga. So we do about 5 or 6 waves, and then we're going to give it a nice healthy twist. Bringing your left hand to the outside of the right leg. Exhaling from the lower belly. Now we go to the other side. Feel free to hold this longer, pause the video if need be. Great rotation happening from your lumbar spine, healthy, into the thoracic. Soft knees, shoulders back. We'll step forward into the front of our mats. Exhale, bow down to the earth. Inhale, pause, exhale to roll up. I like to exhale to roll up. Inhale into open front body. And exhale to find Samastitihi, equal standing. Take a few moments to breathe here. Find Ujjayi breath, victorious breath. And then inhale, raise your arms up high to the sky. Back bend if available. Exhale, bow to the earth, forehead to legs. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step the right leg back. Tap the knee to the earth. Inhale to open. And then we start to paddle. This is the closest I could find yoga and surfing uniting. Inhale to open front body. Exhale to bring your hands to the earth. Step back into high plank. Find your golden cord. Keep everything nice and long. Exhale, Adho Mukha. We go through the wave one more time because we cannot get enough of those. Exhale, modify Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Find pause within yourself, and then step forward with the other leg. That's the right leg forward. Inhale to open, and we paddle again. About 5 times or so, and really using the breath to maximize the effort. Inhale to open, hips forward, heart to sky. Exhale, hands to the earth, front foot, step back, or forward actually, into a beautiful standing split. Feel free to modify this any way that's comfortable for you. Feet together on the exhale, shake it out. And use the next exhale to roll up through the spine and to find a beautiful back bend and back into Samastitihi. Make sure everything's in place. And we continue. Inhale, up towards the sky, mini back bend if available. Exhale, bow to earth, hug the legs nice and tight. Inhale, flat back, look at the tip of the nose. Exhale, step your left leg back. Tap your left knee down. Inhale, open heart. And we start paddling again. So keep a focus, a drishti forward. In the same way as you surf, you're looking forward, where you're going. Always finding that drishti in front of you. In life is also really important. Exhaling, hands framing front foot. Stepping back into Kumbhakasana. Strong tummy, strong breath. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Into the wave, undulating vertebra by vertebra, finding plank. Exhale, Nafo Chaturanga. Inhale, Bhujangasana or Urdhva Mukha. Hug your elbows in, open your chest, and really externally open the shoulders, open heart. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Take a moment or two here. Make sure that everything feels nice and easy, gentle. Step the left leg forward, right knee taps down. Open heart. Paddle, paddle. Keep your drishti forward. Big open movements here for the shoulders to warm up the entire upper body. Keep the front line open by gathering your pelvic floor or your lower bandhas into standing split right leg. Modify this any way that feels good for you. Keep focus, keep breathing. Exhale, bow. Exhale, feet together. Check it out a little bit. Inhale here, exhale to roll up again. Hands on your lower back as we open into a mini back bend again. Samastitihi. Such a beautiful place here in Ibiza, north of Ibiza, near Portinac. Inhale into Utkatasana, powerful pose. Externally open the shoulders. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward bend. Inhale, flat back, Urdhva Uttanasana. Exhale, step back into Kumbhakasana, high plank. Pause, check in. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, undulating through the spine. Wave into full chaturanga or modified as you wish. Right leg forward, and here we go. From a lunge position, we start paddling it really quite in a very similar position as we are on the surfboard. Inhale to open. Find your feet first, and then open heart. Exhale, a little bit deeper if need be. And then into what I call, well, there's a couple of names for that pose. Devoted warrior or humble warrior, whichever. Make your way back into downward facing dog. Through the wave, through modified or full chaturanga, as you wish. Keep your elbows in. Inhale, up dog, left leg forward. Find your feet first and paddle away. Strong tummy, strong breath, strong legs here. Balance is everything in surfing. It really is. And it comes both from the core and from the stability in your legs. A little bit deeper, coming into devoted or humble warrior, into the inside of the left leg. Feel free to hold this a little bit longer. It's a beautiful stretch. Really big opening for the hips. Hands to the earth, either side of front foot. Step back and find Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Through the wave once again. Fuller modified chaturanga. Inhale, open front body, elbows in, open heart. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Take a pause here, brief one if you need. And one of my favorite postures, dolphin, a great modification for downward facing dog. Come back up if you're ready. Feel free to pause the video if you want to stay longer. Now we walk forward. Step, jump, float to the front of your mat. Exhale, bow down to earth, hugging the legs. Reversing back into Utkatasana, powerful pose. Back into Samastitihi through a beautiful back bend. Each time maybe going a little bit deeper if available. And pause. Inhale, Utkatasana, powerful pose. Exhale, bowing down in gratitude to Mother Earth. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, right foot back, left foot back, high plank, downward facing dog. Through the wave, which by this point the spine is very warmed up, right leg forward, find your lunge, up we go, and then paddle, paddle, breathe, breathe, strong tummy, strong breath, beautiful opening for the shoulders, great for the legs. Inhale, open, both hips square to the front. Exhale, hands behind back body, interlace as we bow down to Mother Earth, devoted or humble warrior. Hands to earth, step back, find plank, alignment, golden cord, downward facing dog. Through the wave, this could also build up quite a lot of heat, but also your heart rate, left leg forward as we find our lunge, square hips to the front, and paddle, paddle, paddle. Paddle for your life, because sometimes it's exactly what you need to do. Open front body, square hips to the front, hands behind back body, interlace and go a little deeper as you from the hips bow down to Mother Earth and to the inside of the left foot. Notice the back foot, the heel is still touching the earth, anchor down. From here, slowly like a ninja, step back into Kumbhakasana and downward facing dog. Through the vertebra by vertebra, wave movement into modified or full chaturanga. Inhale, open, front body, squeeze elbows in, and exhale through the reverse wave back to downward facing dog. Take your time. moving at your own time and pace, everything in divine and perfect timing. Notice my knees are micro bent here. This allows for a beautiful lengthening in the back body. Take five breaths here before moving on. Moving into camel, I love this pose. It's such an empowering and beautiful way to open back body. So anybody with kappa constitution, great for the lungs, who's grabbing very tight onto the heels, rounding the spine. The head is not touching the earth, it is just above it, hovering. Counterbalancing by opening the heart. Big front body line. Open, connected with the bandhas. Take a few moments here for yourself. Both of those postures we just did are beautifully counterbalanced. They're very empowering. Making our way to the earth. Supine, coming into our backs. We're going to now get into the legs. So according to Hamid Naciri, which is my mate over at YogaSurf Nature Morocco, he speaks much about the legs being warmed up, the hips and the shoulders. So through our yoga warm-up here, we're going to focus, as you've noticed, on shoulders and legs. Very deep hamstring stretch into supine pigeon, which is probably one of the best hip openers that we have in yoga and actually in any movement. As you can see, there's different options for your supine pigeon. Notice my feet are flexed. This actually helps to get a little bit deeper into the femur bones and into the head of the hip joints. Our breath is even, slow and steady. Have a little shake before moving on to the other side. Now left leg. Please feel free to pause the video and hold these stretches longer. The longer we hold the stretches, the more we're going to tap into the fascia, into the connective tissues and tendons and ligaments of the body. The body needs at least minimum 1 minute, which is really not that long, but anywhere between 5 minutes or even longer, as in yin yoga, is preferred to really increase flexibility in the body. So we're supine pigeon on the left leg, feet flex, a little extension on the right leg to get it deeper into the hamstring of that leg. Variations are open and welcome. But the root and our anchor is always our breath. So how is your breath? Check in. Have you lost your ujjayi breath? Or is it still quite there in the back of your throat, reminiscing those times you've spent at the beach this summer? Coming into Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose. So here we are all slightly differently built. So make sure that your knees are over your ankles and that you're not compromising your lower back, and that you're lifting your hips high to the sky. Anywhere between 5 to 10 breaths here in this beautiful pose. And you can give yourself a little bit of a supplement with the hands. And then if need be, coming up into Salamba Sarvangasana from there. Shoulder stance, one of the king postures in yoga. Incredible for Pitta. So if you're really fiery type, these are the best postures here to do. Into Halasana, plow. Hold this for at least 5 breaths. Really imagine that your sit bones and your pelvis is being lifted to the sky. Maybe back up into shoulder stance if that's part of your practice. The 3 main bandhas must be engaged in shoulder stance. Into a little deeper hamstring stretch if this is okay for you. And hug your legs for 5 breaths. From here, a quick transition to a seated twist with open legs. So feel free to pause the video and assume this position and take anywhere between 5 to 10 breaths. This is a beautiful opening for side lateral body to ignite both Agni and heat. From that, we're moving into Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose with a slight twist in the direction of the leg that you're going. So notice how my right hand is externally on the outside of the mat to help me with a little twist as I flex my foot, just to get a little deeper. The movement is coming from the hips, not so much from anywhere else. Into Purvottanasana, beautiful opening from the front body. 5 breaths. My elbows are slightly locked, so feel free to bend them a little bit more. Internally rotating the legs. Moving over to the other side, Upavista. So open leg as I come into a side lateral twist to the left. Inhale to bring the right arm up, and this could be exactly where you need to stay. No need to go any further. You can go a little bit deeper if your body is available, but here it's beautiful. So we want to work that right hip bone into the earth as you externally rotate from the back, right rib cage, shine your heart to the sky. And then squaring everything back to the front. As you twist actually over to the other side, so you're twisting to the left as you hinge from the hips, not the back, to come into a forward bend, Janu Shirshasana, head to knee. Janu means knee, Shirshasana means head in Sanskrit. But that's not the point, that's not the aim, it's just the process of how we get there. Inhale to come up. And exhale to release. Always use the inhale to come up and exhale to release. So reflecting what we did on the other side, strong core, keep open throat, lift heart to sky. Stay for 5 breaths if possible as the sun is starting to come down here on this beautiful afternoon in Portinache, north of Ibiza. As I bow myself to the earth, so bring the feet together. Such a beautiful pose. Remain here for a long 5 deep breaths before you reach Shavasana. Namaste.